Hello Internet, my name is Mr. Anderson and this is another episode of Bazzle Spot Live. So I hope you've been enjoying it, hope you enjoy your stay here, hope you enjoyed Monday's bumper video, extra long video. Again, I am using this team, but we'll see how we go today. Maybe we'll do another extra long one because I'm not really intending on doing videos on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. As maybe you saw yesterday there was nothing going on. Just because I feel like, I know that you like videos on Tuesday and Thursday, but I just feel like it does sort of dilute, like the main sort of Bazzle Spot videos a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see how we go with that, I guess. But anyway, as we find, Paco MP with actually a really scary looking team for mine. Like his team looks pretty odd, pretty peculiar, but he's got what he needs to win against me, actually. Like, Mimikyu was one of the biggest problems for this team. And I don't know, like, I've not played any Goodras, actually, for a long time. So I'm not sure about that one. But, like, Gigalith in Trick Room is nasty, because we do not have any rock resists on this team. So I can't let him get the Trick Room up. But that's a little bit tough if the Mimikyu maybe is faster with Taunt and could Taunt off Smeargle first. We will go with Smeargle and Xurkitree, I think. I do want Lele in the back, just in case he does try and like fake out in Trick Room. And who do we want? Either Trevenant or Arcanine. You know what? I think we want Trevenant here. It always surprises me, doesn't it, when I take Trevenant? I'm like, you know what? I think Trevenant might do some work here. Like, I'm sure Trevenant comes in like, a decent amount of my games. I'm always surprised to pick it. So yeah, I think we'll take Trevenant. I just have to watch out for the Arcanine. Like, as long as I can take care of the Arcanine, I think Trevenant should be okay. I think so. Obviously, like, the Mimikyu could have like Never Ending Nightmare or whatever as well. So things to consider, but we'll see. We will see. So hello, Pokemon trainer Paco MP. So he goes with Mimikyu and Goodra, actually. Well, that is not really what I expected. And it really makes me wonder if this Mimikyu is fast now, if it's got Taunt. Because I can otherwise just go for a Spore into it. Goodra, worst case scenario, it's got a Z move. Because like a devastating Drake will knock out my Xurkitree. But I don't think a Draco Meteor will knock out Xurkitree. So I am going to Tail Glow here. I mean, it might do, but Goodra don't tend to have Draco Meteor either way, do they? They tend to like be, Dragon Pulse, Flamethrower, Sludge Bomb these days. Not like massive wild fancy moves, but Gigalith comes in, and you know what? I actually did not. It just sort of went over my mind there that could have been Tapu Fini coming in to prevent this Spore. So Xurkitree does move first, so that shows that Smeargle probably is faster than Mimikyu as well. Yeah, phew. That could have actually gone pretty poorly. This is the thing, isn't it? Like, if they do want to bring in their Tapu Fini to stop a Spore, then you're going to be facing down a Xurkitree as well. Like, Tapu Fini doesn't really appreciate sitting in front of, a Xurkitree. But if that was Tapu Fini coming in there, then he would have presumably got the Trick Room up. We would have still got our Tail Glow, but then we would have, I suppose next turn we would have been trying to follow me or Wide Guard on Predicted Muddy Waters and stuff like that. But whatever. Let's stop thinking about what could have happened. Let's think about what is happening, because he's just brought in his Gigalith. I am going to Spore into the Gigalith. Very likely his Gigalith is going to protect here, and I am going to Dazzling Gleam. Just because whatever happens here, I'm really hoping that the Mimikyu is not protecting. That the Mimikyu doesn't wake up, because he will be going for a Trick Room. But a Dazzling Gleam breaks the disguise. It puts the Gigalith into +3 Thunderbolt range as well. Because he didn't protect, maybe he's Assault Vest? No, maybe not, because that Dazzling Gleam did do a lot of damage. So, I'm not too sure then. So he's going for a Trick Room, because the Gigalith's moving first. Mimikyu stays asleep. Good. Right, I'm happy with that. And these 1 in 3 chances. And it does mean that I can just Thunderbolt the Mimikyu to knock it out, to completely deny his Trick Room. Gigalith, if it Rock Slides, fair enough. Worst case scenario, it's Z move and a Continental Crush knocks out my circuitry. So I'm going to go for a follow me here, just in case of that worst case scenario. And just Thunderbolt into the Mimikyu, because if we get rid of his Trick Room options, I think we'll be okay. It actually just forfeits straight away there. So yeah, very quick game there, very quick game. So I don't know if all the games are going to be as fast as that. Then maybe we'll have 4. But you know, I won't tease you like that. Let's see how we go. Let's see if we can dispatch of some more opponents as quickly. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? So yep, blah blah blah. Yep, let's continue battling. Let's see who we find. So yeah, I mean, I am hoping, obviously, hoping that you're still enjoying watching, you know, Bazzle Spot Live, because I am using the same team again. Like, you know, I don't really have any. Well, I can't really get a Worlds invite now because I don't think I can go to either of the remaining international championships. So, you know, season is pretty much over. Don't really have any incentive really to make any new teams or anything. So, you know, maybe I'll use some different teams. Maybe I'll use, you know, Boyd's team after Brazil or something, just for a change. But I'm comfortable with this team. I like this team. I'm still enjoying using this team, so I'm using this team. This guy has got 3 of the same Pokemon. I mean, you know, for my team that started so sort of left field and strange, I guess. With the Drifblim on there, I have actually got 3 Pokemon that are really common now. So it's like a half our really standard team, which is a little bit strange with Lele, Drifblim, and Arcanine. And he has got exactly those 3 as well. But he's got Garchomp, Gyarados, and Ninetales, as your eyes can see as well. So, like, I am tempted to go with Drifblim and Lele in this one, but Smeargle Circuitry does work as well. Just if he goes with his Ninetales, then I would be like sort of kicking myself that I didn't go with Lele and Drifblim. I'm gonna go with how I'm comfortable, just with Smeargle and Circuitry. I think I do want my Lele in the back, and I'm actually going to take my own Drifblim too. So normally I would take Arcanine here, just because it does sort of like, you know, wall the Ninetales. I suppose going like this does make me a little bit weak to Ninetales, but just because he hasn't got any Trick Room options, and I do want to, you know, give Drifblim a little bit more airtime, I suppose, just because I haven't really been using it too much. I do want to bring Drifblim. Drifblim, oh, he has gone with Ninetales. That's a shame. Okay, interesting that he didn't lead with his Tapu Lele or Drifblim either, actually. But yeah, taking Drifblim does give us a little bit extra for his Garchomp as well, I suppose. But what do we want to do here? So we don't know the speeds. We don't know who is faster, like Arcanine or my 2 Pokemon. I could Spore here. He doesn't have like Hoko or anything. Could Fake Out. Yeah, maybe try and break the Ninetales' Sash. Could be fearing the Arcanine being like an offensive one and knocking out my Circuitry though as well. So, I do feel like going for a Spore into the Arcanine and just going for a Tail Glow. Like, this seems a little bit risky. But Ninetales does protect on an expected Fake Out to break a Sash. Arcanine protects as well. Okay, so that's alright. So it didn't really make any difference what we did with Smeargle there, but we did get the Tail Glow, and now I'm going to pay attention and watch the Hail, because now we'll see who's faster out of all of these 3 Pokemon affected by the Hail. So Arcanine is actually hit first, so Arcanine is faster. So that is probably a more offensive one. And then, you know, we know that Circuitry is faster than Smeargle. So, interesting. What do we want to do with that information then? So we've got Drifblim and Tapu Lele in the back. Yeah, my own Arcanine would have been nice actually, wouldn't it? To bring in here for the Intimidate, for the Resist and everything. Ninetales is going to go for a Blizzard, but I'm more worried about what the Arcanine is going to do. So I'm going to go for a Follow Me. Because Smeargle will survive a Blizzard. And I am just going to... You know what? It sounds really strange, but I'm going to Dazzling Gleam here, just because I want to break the Ninetales' sash, and it will put the Arcanine into Psychic range from my own Tapu Lele as well. So, expecting Smeargle to survive this so that we do redirect the attack from Arcanine. Yeah, we do. But we're frozen, but that shouldn't really matter because we still got the Follow Me off. Yeah. So, instant reaction there to a freeze. It's, you know, but that one actually didn't matter because we, you know, Follow Me, priority and everything. So, that's a Life Orb Arcanine. Yeah, so I was a little bit reckless maybe in the way that I played turn 1 because he could have really just gone for a Flare Blitz with his Life Orb and knocked out my Xurkitree there. So maybe we dodged a little bit of a bullet there. And we get our Citrus Berry, which is nice. But now we can bring in our Tapu Lele. Yeah, not going to bring in the Drifblim because, you know, Psychic Terrain isn't on the field yet. And we're not faster than anything. So, in comes the Lily, and we've got to eat a Blizzard, really. Both of them should, I mean, obviously we'll survive a Blizzard, but obviously risking the freeze too. But we can't avoid that really outside of just attacking the Ninetales, but then the Arcanine can attack, you know, one of us. So we've got to Psychic into the Arcanine here, and I am going to Dazzling Gleam again. I mean, maybe he could protect and Aurora Veil, but no, he either didn't expect the Scarf there or was okay with his Arcanine going down. If he Blizzards, hopefully we don't freeze. He does Blizzard. So he's not Aurora Veiling, which is nice. And we don't freeze, which is nice. So we're 3-2 up now, but obviously not in a brilliant position in the way that he could have Garchomp in the back. If he does, I'll protect Xurkitree, switch out into my Drifblim, but if he's got maybe his own Drifblim and Garchomp in the back, then things might be really tricky for us. So we'll see. He could have brought his Drifblim without his own Lele very easily. And that's exactly what he has done. That's exactly what he's done. Oh dear. So this just became very tricky now. Yeah, this just became very tricky because his Xurkitree his Drifblim actually can probably just knock out our Xurkitree with a Shadow Ball. So this is not good. This is really not good. I mean, you got to expect he's going to Shadow Ball into the Tapu Lele and Earthquake. So I am going to Psychic into his Garchomp and just protect my Xurkitree here, expecting my Tapu Lele to go down. I don't know, maybe my Drifblim in the back can pull it out for us, but it's tricky. No, I mean, like an Earthquake Shadow Ball into Lele will just knock it out, won't it? Yeah, so I was thinking maybe I could survive the Shadow Ball here, but yeah, we don't even survive the Shadow Ball. So let's see what's going to happen. He actually uses Dragon Claw, which is very interesting. Indeed interesting. What can we do? Because we have got Disable on our Drifblim too. We don't know which Drifblim is faster, obviously. Xurkitree will go down to anything, really, won't it? Like, do you think the Garchomp was Scarfed? Let's have a look at his team. I mean, why else would he use Dragon Claw? Do you think he's Scarfed? Is he Scarfed? I mean, we've got to play this assuming that Drifblim is faster. My Drifblim is faster. Okay, well, let's disable his Garchomp then. And try and double protect. No, we don't get it. So our Drifblim is faster, which is nice. So Shadow Ball comes probably into my Xurkitree, yeah, which does knock us out. But we'll see if he's locked into Dragon Claw or not. Yeah, it is. So he's going to be struggling here. And my Drifblim is faster than his. So I'm going to just disable his Drifblim now, because he shouldn't be able to touch us outside of, like, Will-O-Wisp. Like, I don't think this will be a speed tie, because my Drifblim has got a pretty strange speed stat. So he'll be struggling, and he'll be, if he is choice locked. Yeah, he does Will-O-Wisp there, so, you know, that was all he could really do there. Yeah, is locked. Is scarfed. That does do a bit more damage than I'm comfortable with. But yeah, I mean, 2 Shadow Balls. I think 2 Shadow Balls should knock out his Drifblim. If his Drifblim has got Disable as well, then he'll be doing it now. Or a critical hit can bail us out. Okay, so without that critical hit, we could have still won the game, potentially. Depending on if he had Disable or not. But I mean, it's going to be close. I mean, can struggle critical hit? I think it can, can't it? If he gets a struggle critical hit, that would be the most epic way to win a game. So, I mean, 2 Shadow Balls will knock him out. 1 Shadow Ball and the struggle recoil should knock him out. So, we should have this game. Yeah, or actually just Drifblim is on fire. Like, it is literally burnt. It is on fire. Wow. 2 critical hits there. It's all the pent-up rage for having not been taken for only like what, 1 game over the past 2 weeks. 2 games now. So wow, Drifblim, you monster, you absolute balloon of a monster. But phew. I mean, Disable did work out for us there. I mean, I'm curious to just sort of think through what would have happened there. Like, assuming he didn't have Disable on his Drifblim. Because it's not the most common thing. If he didn't have Disable, maybe it would have been Destiny Bond. Like, I would have Shadow Balled, knocked him down to, like, below half. What would his Drifblim have done to mine? Because it couldn't Shadow Ball, it couldn't, Will-O-Wisp, we're already burnt. Would it have Destiny Bonded? If it would have done, then I would have just targeted the Garchomp next turn. Disable does stay around for quite a few turns. So, I suppose the next turn I would have... I mean, depending on if he just kept Destiny Bonding with his Drifblim, I would have eventually knocked it out. But it might have stalled it out so long that the Disable on his Garchomp sort of wore out. I don't know. It would have been close. It would have been close, but the Disable from our end actually helped us out there. And sort of identifying that, like, how many Garchomp actually use Dragon Claw? Like, only really Scarfed, maybe Assault Vested as well, but... I don't know, if he'd locked himself into Earthquake, I suppose my Drifblim would have won as well, so he couldn't really have done that, so I don't know. Just a really interesting game, that one. But we find another opponent from the land of Japan, the land of the rising sun, and he's got some Pokemon. He has got a Ninetales as well. So, what do we want to do here? Like, Smeargle Circuitry is obviously, like, on the tip of my fingertips. But I'm tempted to go with Tapu Lily and Drifblim as well. Saying that quietly. I'm tempted to do that. I am actually tempted to do that. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll go with Tapu Lily and Drifblim. Because you put in such a good showing for us there, Drifblim, in the last game. Arcanine does look very nice here as well, outside of Tapu Fini, I guess. So, Circuitry is going to come along as well. So, actually, no Smeargle in this game. I think this is probably the first, I mean, at least the first one that I'm recording where I'm not actually taking Smeargle, I think, anyway. So, we had Drifblim taking over that last game, and now we've not even got Smeargle at all in this one. So, we'll see. I mean, Drifblim. I mean, the thing with Drifblim is it's one of those Pokemon that is quite, like, people are prepared for it now. People are getting counters for it and all the rest of it. But okay, we're gonna get a boost, but I don't think a combination of Psychic and Shadow Ball will knock his Arcanine out without a special defense drop. What do we want to do then? How important is Tapu Lele in this match? Like, Tapu Lele isn't the most important thing in this match. So, I think I am just going to go for the double target into Arcanine. I don't need a Tailwind here. If I do get this 20% special defense drop, then I think I will be knocking out the Arcanine anyway. So, you know, this is one of the bonuses of doing this double target. We don't get a drop, you know, it's only a 1 in 5 chance, but we're going to be bringing the Arcanine very low. Oh, wow. He's going to be knocking himself out to the recoil here. Ooh, and knocking me out too. Wow. Well, that must be choice banded then. That's a little bit upsetting that we've lost Drifblim just like that, but we've knocked out his Arcanine too. But that turn 1 definitely could have gone better for us, definitely. And that did a lot of damage to Tapu Lele too. Wow. Okay. Let's put in the Xurkitree then, just so that we can start threatening his Tapu Fini a little bit. If we had Trevenant, then we could, I don't know, we could be, I mean, we haven't got Trevenant, have we? But, you know, always getting rid of the Arcanine sort of clears the way for Trevenant a little bit. But what is he going to have in the back? What's he going to bring in now? Tapu Koko? Okay. So the electric terrain helping my Xurkitree here is basically going to allow me to one-shot his Tapu Fini. So 3 Tapus on the field now. And I suppose he has got things that can switch into a Thunderbolt. Katana, Ninetales, Snorlax can switch on a Thunderbolt, thinking he will switch his Tapu Fini out. I've got Arcanine in the back as well. So this is interesting, actually. If he has got either of those in the back, then Arcanine is alright, and we don't actually need Tapu Lele too much. So I'm going to leave Lele in, just Psychic and Thunderbolt into his Fini. And see what happens. Because Xurkitree is looking okay here. So if Fini does switch out, like, worst case scenario, it's, I don't know, I was going to say like an Assault Vest Katana or something, but, I mean, a Snorlax is still not going to appreciate this. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam. Does knock out our Lele. It was close, but... Ooh, he's Life Orb, actually. But as long as we can keep Xurkitree safe, I think we're okay. So, Snorlax has lost its berry. Keeping Xurkitree safe is the key, though, because we have taken quite a fair amount of damage, and his Snorlax is still sitting there quite happily. It is intimidated, which is nice. And Tapu Koko is going to be taking itself out to recoil. Ooh. What's going to happen here? Tapu Koko will knock itself out to recoil damage, won't it? So, I'm going to go for a double into the Snorlax, I guess. Like, a Thunderbolt shouldn't knock out Arcanine from where it is, I don't think. And if I double into the Snorlax, then it covers the Fini switch. I'm going to go for the Z move as well, just because I don't want the recoil on myself. Because expecting, like, hoping Arcanine does survive a Thunderbolt. I mean, if this knocks Arcanine out, then... Ooh, wow. If that knocked Arcanine out, that would have been game over. But a combination of these two attacks should knock out the Snorlax, I do believe. And because we've still got his electric terrain, unless he's got a really, really fast, like timid, max speed Tapu Fini, we should have won this game. So, wow. Arcanine, you've definitely got some EVs. I'll have to calculate that afterwards, because that was too close. That was really close. Like, I do have a suspicion that I can survive that, but Life Orb Thunderbolt is powerful. Okay, so thinking worst case scenario. Oh, it's not. Yeah, we've not got the terrain anymore, have we? So what we can do is go for a Helping Hand, Thunderbolt. Yeah, we are at +1 special attack. I mean, the Helping Hand Thunderbolt will definitely knock him out. A Thunderbolt normally will knock him out actually too. Worst case scenario is his Finny is timid and it is faster than Xurkitree and knocks us out somehow. So I'm thinking of going for a Protect with Xurkitree and a Bulldoze, but if he's got like Substitute on his Tapu Fini, then that wouldn't be very good for us. But you know, they don't normally. I mean, what's the higher chance? He's got a Substitute or is timid? I think timid might be the higher chance, but I'm pretty sure we'll win this game anyway. But I'm just making extra sure here, aren't I? So if his Tapu Fini has got a Substitute, I still don't think he'll be able to knock me out in one hit. But you know, I'm just thinking absolute worst case. And this is what you've got to do. You know, you've got to think absolute worst case scenario because sometimes it'll happen, and it is just a muddy water. Yeah, so. It's gone now. I mean, we can't Helping Hand Thunderbolt him now, but a +1 Thunderbolt will still knock him out, and we have got, you know, Bulldoze residual damage on it too, so we should be okay. So Xurkitree is definitely faster now. And yep, Thunderbolt, Tapu Fini. Whew. So we've had some actually really interesting games. Like I'm sure I'll probably say that at the end of like most videos. Like, ooh, I've had a really, you know, these have been some really interesting games, haven't they? Yeah, you've enjoyed my video, haven't you? Yes, of course you have. But you know, I do feel like, you know, the games today, apart from the first one, which was over in like 2 turns, like the last 2 games have actually been really interesting. You know, some interesting turns. Yeah, very interesting. Interesting. I'll stop saying that now. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this, guys. You know, please like and share, and you know, get my channel out there. You know, I do obviously appreciate all that you do for me like that. So if you've enjoyed it, please you know, have it in your hearts to help my channel out too. So thank you, guys. You know, goodbye for now.